What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It is the King and I Life podcast, hosted by myself, Soul Toucher the Poet, and my brother, Son Soul X, in his joint. Check it out. Hit us up, www.kingandilife.com, for all our podcast info. Subscribe to whatever podcast platform that you choose. Also, hit us up, KINGANDEYE369@gmail.com. Email us your suggestions, your feedback, and all that good stuff. Tune in to us live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, Wednesdays, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And make sure you like, subscribe, and share, because we are all over all those social media platforms. Stay tuned for the good stuff. Yeah, we out. So you recently brought your podcast to YouTube.
Yes.
How long had you been planning on doing that?
Since I want to say since the beginning of this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as soon as January hit, I already had in my mind like I wanted to start expanding a little more and switching things up. I just didn't know how I wanted to do it. Also, consistency. And it's bad enough you have to sit here, you record something and then edit for hours. Now you have to also do the same for YouTube, where it's visuals, and you have to make sure you have the right cuts and the right transitions and it looks good. Because if not, you have public TV. You just have public TV with the bad mics.
Not public TV. Stop. You're killing me.
I mean, well, you got the bad microphone, the bad camera angles, and
Yeah.
and I do take pride in being able to like have a nice clean production, whether it's visually or audio only. So that was like what slowed me down, and that's why I don't put out so much content for YouTube at the same time. I have to pace myself. It's either maybe once or twice a month, or maybe even once a month, because for me, it's like you said, it's not quantity, it's the quality for me.
Yeah.
So if it's not going to look good and it's going to look crazy, then I'm just not going to post it up.
Yeah, I definitely couldn't agree with that, because when we first started, we were banging out audio podcasts just like faithfully, and it's like we recorded so much that we had a surplus to the point where we could probably go a week without recording,
Oh
and we
wow.
still have enough. But like you said, when it comes to editing and this, that, and the other, and sometimes if you're the only one editing and you
Right.
have stuff that you need to do and stuff that you want to do, and you look at this, you'd be like, I'm not doing that.
I can wait till
So
tomorrow.
yeah, so I definitely get that. So how long did it take you to get up not all the gear, enough gear, podcast equipment, software, and all of that, and learning how to work all that stuff? How long did it take to get you to the point where first you were able to do the audio and then start doing the video?
Wow. I would say it took me from the time I started podcasting, my very first episode, which was, I believe, April 5th of last year, through maybe even yesterday, because
Hmm.
I'm like always just learning new things. As far as the audio, I did pick that up a lot easier. I was using, like I told you, my husband had a microphone that he used to use because he would podcast.
Right.
And I started off using that. I started off in my closet. My
Hmm.
closet, I had like a whole bunch of padding and a whole bunch of clothes. So I started off in my closet to make
Hmm.
sure my audio sounded okay.
Yeah.
And I recently moved out here into the studio. I want to say maybe like before the ending of last year, if not the
Mm.
beginning of this year,
Oh
because I was
wow.
just like, okay, now I can move out, because not only
Hmm.
do I have a better microphone, which I got also over time,
Right.
like during last year. I also have, like my little devices where I can plug things in. I can
Hmm.
edit like this. I already have my templates where I have my
Right.
intro and my outro ready. I don't have to keep adding these things on.
Hmm.
So I would say it took me this entire time to make sure that I had a good setup. Now, as far as video, the way I was doing is kind of like how we're doing it right now. Like I would either do like StreamYard, or I would do
Hmm.
Zoom, and I would do it this way. And now, one of the episodes I'm going to release this Sunday, I did it actually with my husband's camera equipment.
Okay.
And he, of course, because he knows what he's doing, he helped me set up all the lighting and all that stuff, which is
Hmm.
a big freaking production. And I just kept looking at him
Man.
like, God, like this is a lot of work. And I just finished editing everything, and it
Hmm.
took me 2 days.
Yeah.
2 days to listen to an hour and 40 minutes worth of content, like
Yeah.
3 or 4 times to make sure that I didn't mess it up, make sure I exported it correctly. So, I mean, for me, as far as like the video, it's not too hard because I know what I want it to look like and I know where
Mhm.
my cuts need to be. I've messed around with like transitions and things like that before, but it's just really just the listening part, having to listen to the same episode over and over, make sure you didn't mess anything up, and then making sure YouTube doesn't flag it. I think that's the hardest part.
You know what? Let me tell you.
Play too much.
Yeah, so I don't do that. I
Mm,
do not listen through after we record because I do not have the mental bandwidth
I love
to
that.
listen through it. I tried it a while back. I tried it, and for one, I did not have. I did not want to give up the time to do it, um,
Okay.
and I got to the point where I use a this audio program called Reaper, and I have a
Okay.
preset for it. So I put my audio in there, and I put his audio in there, and his audio usually needs a little work. So I
Yeah.
have a preset just for his track so that it can level out the sounds and take out the
Well,
static
that's
and everything.
awesome.
Yeah, and the only thing that I make sure it does not do is spike. Um,
Oof.
that
That's
oh my
hard.
yes, that is hard because
And
I
as soon
mean
as it's
if
like you sound like this, you're like, oh, damn.
right, and then it's like if you try to adjust it with the program, it sounds like trash.
Yes. You want it to
And
be
it's
the
like,
whole thing.
yeah, you got and it look, let me tell you, we have at least 7 or 8 episodes where they were good, and I
Hmm.
was like, the audio is trash. And I was
Yeah.
pissed because it's like you can't capture that essence if you do it
Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm glad you said that because the episode for YouTube that's coming out Sunday. When I tell you, I tried the first time, like the first night, I heard the audio. I closed everything down. I grabbed my water, and my husband's like, "Where are you going?" I said, "Can we curse on here?" No.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. I said,
Speak your
"Fuck this
piece.
shit."
Speak your piece.
I said, "Fuck this shit. This audio is bad. Fuck it." Like I went off. He said, "Okay." He just looked at me and went like this. He said, "All right, babe. Have a good night."
Yeah.
When
Yo,
I tell
I
you,
look,
I felt like I wanted to cry. I wanted to laugh. I was literally laughing. He said, "Uh-oh, she got the Joker laugh." I was laughing because I
man.
was like, if I don't laugh, I think I'm going to cry. And the way I Houdini maneuvered this audio, I like screamed out loud when I figured it out. I was like, because I do see
Really?
you have like a preset stuff. I don't have none of that. So I
Wow.
try to do it like I'm listening and I'm doing it myself. I'm listening, I'm doing it myself. And when I figured out how to make this work, I was like, oh, sweet baby Jesus, I know you and I are not in good terms because you not, you don't feel me and I don't feel you. However,
Oh man.
thank you. And so I definitely know where you're coming from.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know where you're coming from.
It and and I know your episodes are usually like 30, 40 minutes or something like
Mhm.
that. Our episodes at that time are usually like 2, 3 hours.
Oof, that's
So imagine recording for 2 to 3 hours, having to edit for 2 or 3 hours, and have bad audio for 2 or 3 hours.
yeah.
It's like, yo,
I'll
yeah,
scream.
ready to scream,
Yeah.
ready to just flip everything, ready to quit podcasting, all of that.
Yeah, that's
All
me.
of that.
We need to start like a what is a forum because
Right.
that's me. Like I want to rip stuff off the wall. I always keep sometimes I keep like my bass guitar next to me because I literally would stop.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, I'm just gonna try to play some bass right now because I can't. I need something to calm me down. My husband's like, "Is it really that bad?" I just look at him. He goes, "All right, well." He said, "Okay, you want me to get you some wine? You want some boo? You
Oh
know how you
man,
love your baby
fine.
girl." Like, yeah, get me some
Something.
whiskey on the rocks
Yeah.
because I can't do
So
this.
so what audio program do you use?
So I'm still using like GarageBand because I refuse to
Okay.
pay for like GarageBand, the Logic Pro.
Yeah, I
Screw you,
wouldn't.
Apple.
Yeah, I
Um,
just
no, but my husband has like the Adobe Pro, like he has all of it.
okay.
He has like the
Um,
audio, he has,
audition.
he auditioned, right? So I recently started playing around with that, but I'm so used to GarageBand and how simple that is that
Mm,
Audition is so convoluted. Like
no.
there's so many different buttons and so many this. So I think I'm just like really scaring myself into believing that Audition is really hard to use only because I'm so comfortable doing what I know.
Yeah.
I'm psyching myself
Yeah.
out.
That's
But
the
I think I'm
thing.
gonna eventually move over to that.
I started using Audacity, um, and then I was using Audition, and then I started using Reaper. I tried GarageBand. I'm an Apple person, but I could
Yeah.
not. It was causing me stress. Like,
It's no, it's trash. It's trash.
yeah, I can't fool with GarageBand, but
Yeah, you have to have a lot
Reaper's
of
pretty
patience.
good. Reaper's pretty good. I mean, it's a one-time fee for it. I think it's like $40-$50, but it's really good. Audition, it has its. I agree. It can be a piece of work,
Mm-hmm.
but it's decent. I like it for certain. If I'm doing something really quick, I'll throw in Audition because it works well.
Okay. Really? All
Yeah.
right. So I'm really gonna give it a shot now then.
Yeah, I mean,
Because I
once you
do
once you
want to
get
move over.
comfortable with it, you'll see how it's really easy. Like if you have an episode where you're chopping it up into segments,
Mm-hmm.
it's great for that.
Really? Okay. I
Yeah,
love
like
that
you could chop
because
it up real easy and export it, batch export it like that. Um,
really? Oh,
yeah,
look at that. See, I
yeah,
didn't know that. All right. So I'm gonna give it a shot. You've
yeah.
convinced me.
I mean, like I tell a lot of people, YouTube University has it all. Um,
You're right about that.
Yeah. And then with Reaper, if you ever tried Reaper, because they give you like a free 45-day trial with it,
Mm-hmm.
um, let's just say you have a long what you call it, you can do the same thing with that. Like you can have a whole audio track.
Mm-hmm.
And like I have my intro and I have my outro and I have four different outros and I mute every one of them, but I'll cut the thing right, the track, and slide the rest of it over, export that, slide the next part over,
Oh,
cut that,
that's
export that.
awesome.
Yeah. So it takes no time for me to do it with Reaper. And I
Okay.
like that.
Okay.
Yeah. And you're using Premiere Pro for your video?
No, believe it or not, I'm using iMovie.
I hate iMovie.
But so do I. But okay, so this is my problem. I'm a toxic human being.
Uh-huh.
And because I know that these programs are all crappy because I'm using them and I literally want to smash my computer every single time.
Oh my.
But because it just really gives me a pain, like it's just a headache. iMovie, the way when you try to like scroll and it scrolls down instead of scrolling up, and then it's just a disaster. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry for my little puppy Teddy in the background, by the
Oh, don't
way.
worry, because I'm surprised this cat is not jumping up on here trying to
Oh,
be on camera.
really? No, Peyton is, because this is a battle. It's a war of the animal of the pets. So
Oh my
Peyton is all the
goodness.
way on the other side. But yeah, iMovie. When I tell you so much work I have lost on iMovie that I'm just like,
Really?
where's my stuff? Yeah, I'm like, where's my stuff? Because typically it shuts down and you always have something saved.
Hmm.
No, I don't know. I just think my laptop is old. I just think Apple's doing me dirty.
Oh my. Yeah. I first started out when I first started editing videos. This is long before podcast days. I started with iMovie on my phone. And it
Hmm.
was cool because I was just starting out and this, that, and the other. And then once I got a Mac, I started doing it on the Mac. And
Yeah.
then I started venturing off into Premiere Pro. Premiere Pro is cool. And then I ran into DaVinci Resolve. I love it.
Ooh.
Not only is
DaVinci
it
Resolve?
DaVinci
Okay.
Resolve, it's a lot of people say what's the one on Apple? Final Cut. They say
Okay.
that's the industry standard. They say the same thing about Premiere Pro. They say the same thing about DaVinci Resolve. But the one thing I tell people all the time, DaVinci Resolve is totally free.
Oh, I didn't know. I don't even know. I've never even heard of it.
A
You're
lot.
dropping
Look,
gems tonight.
I have been in this YouTube university there during this whole process for a while. But yes, DaVinci Resolve is very free. And once you learn how to use that, you'll say the hell with iMovie.
Okay, so then I'm putting that on the list because as
Yeah.
soon as we're done, I'm going to go download DaVinci Resolve from
Yeah.
somewhere.
Go
I've
get
never
DaVinci
even heard
Resolve.
of it.
Yeah. And I tell you, it's really easy to use, but if you find a video on YouTube how to use DaVinci Resolve, they will like you can put your thing in there and do what you need, and they have a quick export button to where you just quick export it. Or if you want to, after a while, once you get comfortable with it and you start messing with it and you
Mhm.
figure out how, again, you can batch edit, batch do videos.
Wow.
Yeah. I got my intro, I got my outro, I got like 5 clips set up, and I just, do that in
And then you can
one, two.
export them and put them up like on YouTube. You just put
Yep.
them. Wow.
And matter of fact, I know a lot of them you can export directly to YouTube. That one you could direct export direct to YouTube. I don't do that because I don't like this.
I also think people make many mistakes where they like upload their raw files by
Yeah.
mistake, and then and it's by that time it's too late. So one thing I like to do is always schedule when I'm going to publish something,
Mhm.
because if there's a discrepancy or a
Yeah,
mistake
you can
or
pull it
anything,
right
I can
down.
just quickly pull it right
Yeah.
down. Yeah, I'm not that savvy with YouTube yet where I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm confident. I'm confident. I'm going live. Nah, absolutely not. I don't need to be live. I need to be in my bed
Yeah.
and
I like how you pace yourself with 1 or 2 videos a month.
yeah,
Um,
thank you.
but at the same time, it's good that you keep yours short so that you can do that.
Yeah.
Again, we was doing 2 3 hour videos and editing a 2 3 hour video and posting it on YouTube. People's attention spans go real fast.
Right. And that's my fear too. I'm just like, how much can I really talk about? Like you'll see the most recent episode is like an hour and 40 minutes.
Uh-huh.
But the way I set it up is that like there's a different segment every single time because I'm like, I need to keep people awake.
Right.
So it's a really fun episode, but it was so much work because I had to have different segments
Right.
because I was just like an hour and 40 minutes. I don't even want to watch a show for an hour and 40 minutes.
Right. Exactly.
By an hour, I'm just like, I spent too much time on this. My life has been wasted. I'm not getting this time back. I need to do something else.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's a struggle.
Yeah. How many segments did you cut it up into?
So let's see this episode. So the episode already came out. It's about immigrant parents. So
Hmm.
the way I did it was we spoke about immigrant parents, and then we kind of split it up into like, lies our immigrant parents tell us, because that's always
Hmm.
spicy and every parent tells a
Yeah.
lie anyway.
Boy,
So
it's.
I'm just like, that should be a fun segment. And then
Mhm.
we broke it up into like songs that we had to like sophisticately interpret for our immigrant parents, and the
Mm.
songs I chose. So I chose like 3 artists, I think, and my kids, because this episode is featuring my kid's father. He
Mhm.
chose um, 3 rappers, I think it was, and I chose like the most ratchet songs to interpret. When I tell you they're ratchet,
I can't. I gotta check this one out.
they're ratchet.
Oh
So,
my
but
goodness.
you see, but stuff like that for me is really fun because
Right.
it's
Yeah.
like nobody's gonna fall asleep. Like we're not out here talking about, oh, our parents struggled
Right. Right.
coming
Right.
to this country. No, y'all should have stood where y'all came from because it's no good.
Hmm.
It's crazy out here.
Right.
Um, but it was really fun listening to different perspectives too.
Yeah.
But it was
Yeah.
really fun, light. Like we were laughing the entire time, which is why initially it wasn't going to be a YouTube video, but I
Mhm.
recorded the footage anyway. And
Right.
when I saw it, I was like, damn, this is really good. And it already sounds really good. I was like, this will be nice to have people like put actual people so people can
Yeah.
see us and see our reaction, because it's one thing to listen, but it's
Yeah.
another to see somebody else's reaction and their body, their body language
Yeah.
and stuff. So
Yeah.
to me, I really do enjoy seeing that chemistry, because that's what really makes me laugh. Like, that's why I love going to comedy shows, because I love
Mhm.
seeing that interaction. So that's why I chose for this to be a YouTube video.
Okay. So let me ask you this. So for your podcast episodes, do you like if you record audio, do you just record audio, or if you do video, do you just do video?
I do a little bit of both, but I always chop them up a little different,
Hmm.
because I feel like it gets a little boring putting two of the same episodes out just different ways. I mean, some people enjoy that. Some people want to listen to it, and some people
Hmm.
actually want to watch it. So, for me, it all depends, especially because I'm thinking about like doing bonus episodes and stuff like that, where if you don't listen to the audio, you can only see it on YouTube only.
Hmm.
So, if I'm only doing audio though, and I don't even have the thought of making this episode or making an episode into video, then I won't even waste the time. I'll just do audio only.
Okay.
But if I think that, you know what, this might have some potential and I kind of want to make it into a video, then I'll do both. I'll
Hmm.
do both the video and the audio.
Okay. I was curious because that's one thing that we struggle with. Like when we first started, we was doing it on Zoom, and
Yeah.
Zoom is horrible for podcasting.
Yeah.
Um, and then
Very
I forgot what we
choppy.
went to after that, but now we use this Riverside for when we do our pre-record, and we use
Okay.
Restream for our lives. But um, being that he's in Florida and I'm in Maryland, we
Oh.
it's always recorded audio and video. Um, and the one thing that I kind of think about is everybody's not going to listen on YouTube or
Mm-hmm.
watch on YouTube, and everybody's not going to listen to an audio podcast. So
Right.
it's a fine line between, do I want to post this video, or do I just want to post the audio, or do I feel like doing both?
Right.
So I mean, recording it this way, the option is always there. And sometimes, like a couple of them, I just put the audio up, and I'm like, I don't feel like editing videos. And then some of them, I did the
Right.
videos, like I don't feel like doing the audio.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. With me, I'm just like so neurotic with certain things
Hmm.
sometimes. And I'm just like, well, you know what? It's just really the consistency for me. So if I'm
Yeah.
doing like one or two a month, I'm just like, all right, I have to make one of these a video, because I've been posting at least two videos a month on YouTube.
Hmm.
Or, I mean, because I know the audio is always going to be there, because that's
Always.
what
Yeah.
that's how we all started. We all started with audio. We all started releasing once a week or something like that, or
Hmm.
twice a week. So I'm like, I
Right.
know the audio is going to always be there, but since now I'm trying to build this little YouTube community, I'm
Hmm.
like, all right, maybe one or two a month is my cap, because I'm also not going to like burn myself out, because there's but so many things you can talk about and
Man.
record, and
Yeah.
the burnout is real.
The burnout is real, and that's another
Yes.
thing that hit me because I do most of the editing and stuff, and it was like I just do not feel like it. Like
Right.
literally don't feel like I'm just not feel I don't feel like recording nothing. I don't feel like editing nothing. I don't feel like posting nothing. Yeah. So are you looking to get monetized, or is that one of your goals, or are you just here for the passion of it?
Um, let's see. When I first started, I mean, maybe it's a little bit of both. Only because I do see my growth and it makes me excited, but I'm not
Hmm.
thinking of the monetary value of it yet. I think I'm mostly doing this for like fun, for the experience, to make sure I know what I'm doing. So in the event that I do want to become monetized, or I do want to make this, I guess, a full-time job, which I guess it's possible. I don't even know. Um, I don't know. um, I can do that without having any hiccups, because I'm
Hmm.
like 1,000% sure that I know everything I need to know. But till today, I will tell you, I've never really thought of like, well, you know what? Podcasting is going to make me a lot of money, or like
Hmm.
YouTube is going to make me
Right. Right.
a lot of money. Um, and I learned that just by humbly accepting social media, because I hate social media. I can't stand
Mm.
social media. Up until recently, because of the podcast, I didn't have
Right.
social media. I think it's just a pain in the ass. But it really is. But when I saw how I had like 10 followers for like 3 months, I was
Uh-huh.
really humbled because I was just like,
Wow.
damn, Gina, like I can't get like 10 more. No.
Right. It's like, hey, consistency.
Right. Like I'm doing the right stuff. What the hell is going on here? So I don't think about the money because I know how hard it was to even get to 1,200 followers,
Mhm.
and that's just a year and a half later. So I can't really sit here and drive myself crazy or realistically think, oh, I've been doing this for a year. I should be monetized by now because that's just added stress to me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that's just adding way too much stress for me. I'm just going to do this because the more fun I have, I seem to gain a lot of followers and a lot of
Right.
likes organically, and that's all
Mhm.
because I'm just enjoying what I'm doing, not really caring about those numbers,
Right.
so
Right. Right.
oh, there. Hey, hey, girl, hey. She's not having it.
Well,
She's like,
this is the boy.
oh, hey, hey, boy, hey. He's like, turn this off. Oh,
Like,
he's
really,
so cute though.
so damn spoiled.
Look. Oh,
Lay down.
he's cute.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah,
Distract
hey.
the cat.
You're like, yeah, hey.
Oh man. So, next question. Okay? So, in addition to or outside of what you already said, what are some of your likes and dislikes as it pertains to podcasting?
Um, let's see. I really dislike editing. And I think we can all agree. I
Yes.
dislike it. Like it's not fun for me. It's more fun. One of my likes, I like to record. Like I
Right.
like to record. I like to be fun. I like to be silly. There's so many takes of me just saying random crazy things into a microphone that I'm just like, yo, what the hell was I thinking today?
Mhm.
But it really, that's just how I just get like my creative juices flowing. The editing is definitely a dislike. Um, Believe it or not, a dislike is also having to deal with like people disliking stuff because I'm just like, well, if you don't like it, just don't listen, get out of here.
What do you mean people
Um,
dislike? I don't get it.
oh, like I mean, right? Because everybody should love me, but like just like having people who are like, oh, well, she's not funny, or that's not funny, or that was dumb. Why did she do that? Why did she say that? It's like, well, if you don't get me, then
Then you just don't get me.
you just don't walk away. But so that's always because you have to deal with like the public and the audience and the people.
Mm,
And don't get me wrong, I appreciate all of y'all, but
right.
that's definitely it's nerve wracking having to think about pleasing everyone because that's really how I think about it. Like, okay, if I say this, who's gonna be mad at me?
Right.
If I don't say this, or if I'm on a panel and I don't defend this, or I'm just quiet about it, who's gonna be mad at me? Because that's
Hmm.
always just like, ugh, all right, fine. So like having to think about catering to everybody is still kind of in the back of my mind. So to me, that's a dislike because I got into podcasting to say and do whatever the hell I want, but I also try
Right.
to keep it very PC. So you always have to think about all these elements.
Yeah. Being PC is so hard sometimes.
Extremely,
Man, my
extremely.
co-host at first we got on and it was cool, but then
Mm,
once he got the feel of it, he was dropping bombs, and I'm like, bruh, you
you
cursing too
can't say it.
much.
Right, you can't say that.
And it's
Calm
like,
down.
bruh, I get it. I want to curse too, but it's like, the audience.
Right. Let's think about everybody. And that's
Right.
what happened. Yo, I love that you said that because one of my friends, I was a guest on his podcast. And I always ask, you saw how I stop and ask, I say, oh,
Yeah.
you curse, right? So because he's my friend, like I didn't even think about it. Like we worked
Uh-huh.
together and I was just like, oh my God, I think I said like shit or something. And then he like looked at me and he was like, and I said, uh, yeah. I just got quiet. And then once we finished, I said, I apologize. I always ask what are the do's and don'ts because this is your
Oh my
house. I'm so sorry. He was like,
goodness.
and he said, you know what? It's fine. I mean, whoever's mad because you said shit. And then he whispered, I'm like,
What
fudge.
the
Like
wait?
he's mad. Like, damn, I shouldn't have said that. He was like,
Wait.
they get offended, then whatever. I'm just like, oh, come on, dude. I gotta
Were
let
y'all done recording when he said shit?
yeah, yeah, yeah. We were done.
Wow. I'm done. Close the book on it. I'm done. Oh,
I was just like,
wow.
damn, I need to respect that. Yeah, I'm sorry. But that goes, but that goes to show you, like, that's just how I am. And then
Mhm.
sometimes just like, sorry.
Right. Yeah.
So sorry.
Yeah. I mean, usually when we have people on, we let them speak their mind.
Hmm.
I don't think that we're too concerned around about copyright strikes or this, that, and the other.
Right. Same here. Like,
I just more
free.
so like because for a long time most of our audience was female, and it's
Yeah.
like I don't know any female that wants to hear a dude dropping bombs every 4 or 5 words, and it's like
Yeah. It'll be like,
I lose context because I'm focused on shit. Fuck, damn.
yeah, right, right, right. And it's just like, well, what do you think about the economy in the United States? Shut up, yeah, fuck.
Right.
Well,
All right then, Bob. Back to you.
back to you, Soul Toucher.
Oh man. So uh, how long have you been doing panels?
Actually, when I first met Miss Ty
Uh huh.
from Red Lipstick Vibes, shout out to her. She reached out to me. She
Hmm.
friended me on Instagram, and then she sent me a message and was like, "Hey, like I like your stuff, whatever." She's like, "I'm on YouTube. We have a panel. Would love for you to come up." And I was just like, this has to be like a spam. Like this can't be real." And because I was like, nobody wants
Right.
me on a panel. First of all, I was like, what's a panel? And then I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, like a panel. Like you sit down, people ask a question, and everybody has like their response. So I said, well, how bad could this be? Then I was like, no, this can't be real. So then I had sent her a message back. I'm like, oh, thank you so much. And I actually was very busy on the day she had asked, but then she had something going on Friday. And her Friday show would be wild. So I'm just
Yeah.
like, I didn't know who she was. When she started, when she friended me, I started looking up her stuff. Then I realized, I'm like, oh, yeah, she does have a YouTube channel. This is real. Like, she's
Hmm.
not a fake person.
Right.
So I told her, I said, sure, I'll be on Friday. And she sent me the link. And we met finally, like, I guess, face to face virtually,
Hmm.
and introduced me to whoever else was going to be on the panel. And then I went up. And ever since then, I was just like, oh, okay, this is fun. But she's
Hmm.
also, like a vibe because,
Yeah.
like I
Yeah.
said, I don't
It's
like
the
the
whole vibe.
negative people who are
Yeah.
always like bashing and talking about all this crazy stuff on YouTube. That's not my personality,
Hmm.
but she was just so great. And I was like, oh, this is nice. This is really fun.
Yeah.
And that's how I started doing it. I had never been on a panel before.
Mm. Is her panel the only one that you've been on?
Um, well, I've been on hers when I first started this whole panel talk. I've been on hers, and then also M3's, the knowledge and relationships.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think they had a panel before. I mean, we've done like a one-on-one interview, and I want to say they had a panel that I was on. If I'm
Mm.
not, I'm sorry. But mostly on Miss Ty's panel.
Yeah. Yeah. I ran into her because I was following this guy, Carrot Juice Podcast,
Hmm.
and she was in one of his live videos, and people were throwing up their channels. So I started following her, and you
Okay.
know, ventured over to hers and watched a couple of them, chimed in here and there, and then she
Mhm.
invited me, and that was the start of my panel life. Um,
Right? She's just
but
opening doors.
yeah, I enjoy her panels more than anybody else's. No shots to anybody else,
Right.
but
No, of course.
it's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
the
yeah.
whole vibe, and just she's
Yeah.
fucking hilarious. I
No,
just
she really is. No, I agree. And even the people on there, like, because you and I have been on there before, like,
yes,
we all just mesh very well.
yeah,
And you can have your differences in opinion. That's not a problem. But I feel like our personalities really mesh. And again, no shade to anybody out there, but there's just a lot more serious panels out there that I'm like,
yeah.
I don't think
Uh,
I'll do very well here because this is just not who I am. Let's see. Oh, and I've also been on AR's panel.
I haven't been on
He
it.
did, I think he did like one or two that I was on.
Hmm.
Yeah. And but still, like I really do enjoy Miss Ty, but also like off, behind the scenes, Miss
Hmm.
Ty and I are close and
Right.
we do talk, we communicate, we make sure we're good.
Hmm.
So it's like, it's real sisterhood.
Right.
Although we're like we met online and we're
Hmm.
long distance, but like always, hey, how are you? How's Caleb? How's OG dad? Everything's
Right.
good. How's the situation out there? Because there's so much going on. So we always
Yeah.
do check up on each other. And I do value that. So
Yeah, that's good.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I can appreciate about the panels, especially hers, because of her panel, I've been able to interact with a different crowd.
Right.
I honestly had no idea that these panel style podcasts were out there
Neither did
until I
I.
ran into her, and
Mm-hmm.
I honestly did not know that there were so many people that look like us doing so many podcasts.
Right.
I had no clue
Neither did
until I
I.
came across her, and I was like, "Wow, this is a whole
It's a
movement out here."
community.
Yeah.
Right. You would be surprised, all the podcasts that have been thrown at me. Like I've been watching, like even when you look up on YouTube, unless you're following all these people, these are not like the podcasts that are coming up.
Right, right,
You
right.
get a whole bunch of other stuff, and you're like, well, I don't know what
They
you're
don't look
talking
like
about.
me. I
That's
don't
not my
identify
life.
with
Yeah,
that.
that's you.
Yeah.
You definitely didn't live my life.
Exactly. But you talk about my life, but you nah.
Nah, you never been through it.
Nah, not at all. You watch too many movies on TV. Stop watching New Jack City and talk to me.
And right, right. Oh, I love that because that is so true.
And it'd be mind blowing.
Oof.